Hello, welcome to the Modern Musclehead Podcast. This is Scott Tousignant, MetabolicMasterpiece.com, along with Bryan Krahn of BryanKrahn.com.
Bam!
Today, we're going to focus on fat loss. Beach season is just about upon us, so a lot of people are just starting to really kick things into the gear. They're really getting ready to focus on getting ripped for the summer, getting lean for the summer. They want to know where they should be starting, what's the best approach, and Bryan and I are big believers in tracking. I think tracking is a necessity in order to really determine what changes need to take place as you're going along this journey. I don't like leaving anything up to guesswork, but there are various forms of tracking, and it's really key that you pick a form of tracking that suits your lifestyle, your personality, and kind of meets you at where you're at right now. What's gonna make this a fun, enjoyable, sustainable process that you're gonna learn from throughout the entire experience as well. So Bryan and I have experience with different forms of tracking ourselves as well as with our clients. So we're gonna kind of go over a few different approaches and kind of let you determine what's gonna best suit you where you're starting off at this point in the game. So Bryan, what's the first approach that you take with your clients in kind of determining where they should start off in terms of tracking?
Well, yeah, like you said, you have to quickly find out, how a person currently, monitors their intake, and some people they're all over MyFitnessPal and these online trackers, and they can give you a really good idea of, they can give you like a history of months worth of eating, and like how accurate they are with their measuring. That's a topic for another day. But
right.
At least you get a very good idea of like their macros and their calories and time of day and stuff like that. But not everyone is like that. Like some people they have no clue. Like they're just, they say they eat healthy, and
right.
then you have to kind of drill down. Okay, what exactly does that mean? And so for those people, I just ask for like a food journal of some kind, like just a 7-day journal. We don't even have to get into portions right away. It's just like, what are you eating? I like to know the times of day, of course, too, because that tells a lot. So like the meals, like the food choices, times of day, any snacks, like anything, and just get about a 7-day record, and then I can work with that. Like from there, I can work with that. Like, and you can make kind of subtle changes to that. Because, let's be honest, at the end of the day, like, hard tracking still rules. that's to get really lean. But not everyone can get there right away. You got to start somewhere. So,
yeah. It's, and it's still, even the hard tracking, like I said, there's room for error with that stuff. There's room for it gives you a little bit clearer picture, but all these different forms of tracking, it's a great tool to use. And the one thing that MyFitnessPal doesn't do, or some of those online tracking software, is show the different times of day that people are eating as well. I'll say like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and it gives you an idea of the foods. But what I really like about journaling and having the time there is that you do get to understand people's habits, routines, when they're having stuff. Are they eating that coffee and muffin for breakfast, and is it because they're rushing out the door and didn't have time to make a meal? Like how can you provide them with a better option at that time that is quick, convenient? We don't want to do anything that's going to add any more stress for their life, to their life. We'll make things as easy and effortless as possible. So and then snacks at nighttime, is that an area that they could take away from? How are they going to respond to eliminating a nighttime snack? Are they going to respond really well to that because it's going to break them out of that habit? Maybe it was that habit itself that's been the reason they've been kind of stuck where they're at right now, and breaking them out of that habit may be the key for them. Or maybe they really need that nighttime snack, and you kind of shift their calories to allow something at that night. So, but having that journal in place, it's the only way to really know that you need to make a change and where you can make that change, and seeing what that one change will do to you physically, like on the scale, and mentally, emotionally as well.
Yeah, and it's one of the most kind of rewarding things as a coach when you're working with someone just getting into this, is when you convince them just to keep a simple food log, like whether it's on Evernote or Notes or in a notebook or whatever, just a simple food log, and they realize, wow, I eat, I have a ridiculous snack before I go to bed every night. That's like, or they realize they eat the same things every day, and they can see the patterns, and you can kind of like lead them into a more precise approach.
Right.
It's I find it just
that's a big thing, and that is a huge sense of awareness for people when you do see that they eat. We all kind of hit some trends. There are foods that we eat on a consistent basis, and that's probably why I don't feel that tracking on MyFitnessPal or anything like that is a lot of work for me, because
you're good at it.
I eat 3 of the same meals every single day, and I saved them in MyFitnessPal. So when it goes to I have breakfast, it's not like I'm entering a bunch of data and everything. It's just go to MyFitnessPal, boom, I had my eggs and veggies. Lunch comes around, I just hit a button. It's like, is it really that hard for me to just hit the button? It's like I enter it in once. I have a database of the meals that I eat on a regular basis, and for me, it's like almost when I wake up, I can almost hit my first 3 meals of the day. Just boom, 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 boom. I know I'm going to be eating these today, so that part of the tracking's covered. And then dinner, I tend to, throughout the week, seven days a week, we tend to eat those 7 same meals week after week, maybe on different days and stuff. And every once in a while, I'll throw in a different meal here and there. But it's really, I don't find the tracking. It's probably why I gravitate towards that, because I don't find it's that much effort, and it gives me a lot clearer picture. But the second I have certain clients try to track, it right away it overwhelms them. And it's just, tracking isn't for them. And then I have clients who are like, they're giddy with excitement, and then they're sending me pie charts and bar graphs, and they're like measuring everything, and they thrive off of that stuff. So it's like those kind of people, you really want them to embrace that kind of tracking. And then others, it's like just journaling is fine. Some clients I have just take daily pictures, like take pictures of their meals. That's, I think, the fastest thing for people who don't want to write in a journal. I think I don't have time to document everything that I'm eating, or I don't have time to enter it into MyFitnessPal. I take a picture of the meals that I'm eating every single day. They send it off to me. It's an easy thing. At least you have a visual portion size that you're eating. There's no messing around with it. And even if you have a quick little snack, boom, snapshot of a couple cookies. It's quick, easy, effortless. It brings that sense of awareness together. I think that's really key, is that no matter what form of tracking that you're using, there's a certain level of awareness behind it.
And it's like whatever allows you to be consistent and get into a pattern that you can sustain, not just for 3 days or 5 days, but sustain for, really for months. And just, you can always, like, if that's just simply keeping a basic food log, like in a notebook, if that's what you can do consistently for a week, okay, we'll start there. And then, slowly just work in more precision and just more, just hitting harder targets a little bit better. And, I just, working with so many people, it's occurred to me, like, the consistency is everything. And that means, working with someone's individual, like with their lifestyle, with their family dynamic and what have you, finding where you can be the most consistent. So,
without a doubt. And in the past, I've used meal plans a lot for people. I find people always, one of the first things that they come up to me is they want things to be as effortless as possible. So give me a meal plan, give me a workout. I'll follow it. I just need to follow something. And I did that a lot for years and years and years. That was my method. I would have them start off, just journal what you eat for the next week, and then I see the foods that you typically eat, and I'll formulate a meal plan based on that. Because like you said, a lot of times we're creatures of habit, and you can see from that first week of journaling that they're the meals that they enjoy because they're having it each and every day, and you plug those meals into a meal plan. And I find that works really, really well. It has to be customized to them. The foods that they're eating, there's not a generic meal plan that you can really make out there. I'm not going to have everyone eat exactly what I eat every single time. But when you're customizing a meal plan for a specific person based on their food preferences, and allowing some sort of flexibility in there. I think that's the one downside of some meal plans out there, is that they're a little bit too rigid. But for the most part, consistency is the key. And I think that's having a meal plan is probably the easiest way to track your calories, because you can do the numbers up front. I'll see the foods that they're eating. I'll run their numbers, and I set a meal plan based on those numbers, and it's like, follow this. And it's just sometimes people, I think they run into the problems of they have the meal plan and like, oh crap, today I'm supposed to have chicken and broccoli and whatever, but I don't have any chicken in the house. I'm screwed. And they're like, no, there's gotta be a certain level of flexibility in there as well.
No, you said it. Like, for some people, a meal plan is absolutely their best option, is because that's what kind of keeps them focused. It's like less. Like, for some people, flexibility just doesn't work for them. Like, it throws them off. It's too much to think about. They don't embrace the benefits of it. Like, it just doesn't work for them. Like, for them, the ultimate benefit is something that it allows them to be a robot and just, kind of eat the same things day after day, get in a pattern, get in a groove, just, have good day after good day after good day, and it leads into results. I mean, there's a large segment of the population is like that. I mean, I think we try to force variety and flexibility on people, and it doesn't suit everyone,
Yeah, too much freedom. I think we talked about that the last podcast. Like, we need certain rules in place, and having some sort of structure to follow is helpful. Yeah. Just having a free reign flexibility. I mean, it's been trendy lately, and I like to have some room for flexibility. But if you follow, most people are having success because there's a lot of consistency in what they're doing. It's been habit-based. And for me, I always notice the benefits when it's the good habits that are having those 3 same meals all the time. People will criticize that, and then you'll see, well, there's the people that are having chips after dinner every single day, and they got their own little habits of the bad stuff they're eating every day. It's just getting to those good habits, get consistent with the good healthy choices that you got going on there. Too much freedom, I think, is a recipe for disaster. There's got to be some sort of structure and rule in place.
Absolutely, especially for fat loss, because as you start progressing and your body starts making it difficult, and you're hungry and you're tired and you have cues to eat more. Sometimes a little bit of flexibility is just enough to really kind of derail you. I mean, certainly if the goal is gaining weight or just whatever, just adding muscle or whatever, it's less kind of less bad things can happen. But especially as you bring someone's calories lower and lower, a little bit of flexibility that can kind of upset the apple cart. But.
Yeah, for sure. And some people respond better to a little less flexibility. In the past, I've been very good, very, very set with only having a treat once every 4 days. And then I got to a point where I was like, all right, I like that little flexibility of having a treat every single day, as long as it fits my calories, as long as it fits my macros. But what I've really noticed about myself is that I find myself starting to gravitate back towards not having a treat every day, because I just don't want it. I don't feel like it. It's not satisfying as much as I thought it would. I just kind of space it out, get back to my bro way of eating, where it's 3 days low calorie and good, healthy, nutrient rich foods, and 4th day give myself a little bit of a bigger treat and bump up my calories a bit. And that works for me. And I think that's it. And I think that's the benefit of kind of trying different approaches and really seeing what suits you the best, for sure.
Totally. And I mean, if I got a client, or guy or gal or whatever, and they travel a lot, or they're at a lot of social engagements, I mean, tracking's not, like, hard tracking, macro tracking is not going to work. I mean, it's just, it's setting them up to fail. Like, so you have to always look at the bigger picture. Like, how am I going to be successful here long term? Like, what interventions can I make that are going to work with this person? Because they're not going to just quit their job and be stay-at-home bodybuilders and count their macros right away to the letter. So you have to kind of work with people, make better choices, add in more precision, but above all, just develop that consistency. Yeah, and then
consistency, no matter what, is going to make any form of tracking that you're using so much easier. If you're randomly choosing things. I guess that's one of the problems with the flexible dieting would be if you're like all over the place. You basically, if you're like totally random and flexible, you're always going to have to plug in stuff every single day. But if you're consistent, you have some sort of plan in place, it's going to make things a lot more effortless.
Yeah.
A lot easier on you.
I guess the end of the day, there's lots of different routes to get to the same destination, but it all requires just a mindfulness and just being aware of what you're eating, and that boils down to some type of tracking. Whether it's hard macros, whatever, whether it's portions or taking pictures. I mean, that's the most important first step.
Some form of journaling has to take place, like I said, whether it's written in a journal, whether it's in Evernote, whether it's through pictures, whether it's on MyFitnessPal, some sort of tracking has to take place, because that's the only way you're going to know that a change has to be made, or where to make the change. So that's basically what we're saying, that you start tracking right now. You see where you're at. How is your body responding? How are you responding physically, emotionally, and then make adjustments based on that. It really is that simple when you have a goal in mind and you want to lose. Say your goal is 1.5 pounds a week or 2 pounds a week initially. If you only lose 1 pound this week, you got to make a change. And the only way you're going to know what to change is you can look at your tracking. Maybe it is that one little late snack that I need to get rid of. Maybe it's the sugar that I added in my coffee in the morning. Or who knows? Just you, at least if you're tracking, there's one little thing I do every single day that I can eliminate, and then you see, how does my body respond to that elimination, and move there. So it's a constant feedback loop. You have to have that level of awareness, how your body is responding to it, and tracking is key no matter what method that you use.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Bam! That's a wrap, boys. Start tracking. Let us know, what's your favorite form of tracking? Are you by the numbers? Do you love the freaking pie charts and all that stuff? Do you prefer journaling? Do you prefer images? Is there an approach that you use that's a little bit different? I'd love to hear from you. And just hit us up. MetabolicMasterpiece.com, BryanKrahn.com. Share some comments below. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you.
See you.